In this session, I'll be talking about the public administration syllabus and the planner. Particularly, we will be talking about the paper 1 in this video. Okay. So basically, our topic of discussion would be to understand the topics, like what type of, the topics have been added in the syllabus and what will be my approach to deal with those topics, right? So here you can see that I have mentioned here the public administration syllabus and planner, right? So this is belonging to paper 1, as I mentioned. So we will be looking into all the topics one by one, and simultaneously we will be talking about how I'll be dealing with these topics. For example, the first unit is belonging to the introduction. Introduction is just like the literal meaning of introduction. Like whenever we are suppose I'm asking you that, or anyone is asking me or anyone that, give your introduction. So what you will be telling in that introduction, that my name is this, right, and I belong to this place, these are my qualification and all, right? So you will be basically telling about the basic information about you. So in this particular unit, that is introduction, we will be understanding the nature of public administration. What is this public administration all about? We will be understanding that. Okay. And this will be the unit, in this particular unit, we will be devoting most of the time, right? Approximately you can say that 10 to 15 classes will be dedicated to this particular unit, that is the introduction. Okay. If we are talking about some particulars, then particularly we will be talking about the meaning. Public administration ka meaning kya hota hai? What do we understand by the public administration, right? So meaning, scope, significance of public administration. What we will be understanding in meaning? Public administration. What is the meaning of it? This word I am not writing again, but using this information. Okay. So this public administration is consisting of two words, that is public and the administration. So we will be understanding what is the meaning of. Okay. So public here means, the government, right? Government, or we can say the, the authority which is responsible for the welfare of the people, right? And it is also having that meaning also, that is the public in large, that means all the people of this country, all these things, right? But here the meaning would be the government, okay, the authority. And the administration meaning would be to take care of, to take care of, or we can say this is the first meaning. Then the second meaning of this administration would be, only I am talking about this part, administration, to look after, right? So here the public meaning the government, and the administration meaning the to take care of, to look after. So if we are going by the complete meaning of this public administration, then it will be that government to look after the people, or care for the people, look after the people. Okay. So the public administration is about looking after the people by the authority, by the government. This authority can be the central government, this authority can be the state government, or this authority can be the IAS officer at the district level, or the IPS officer at the district level, being the head of police administration in the district, right? So any authority will be looking after the people. This is what the public administration stands for, right? Like through this public administration, if we are talking about the meaning of public administration, then it means that we are studying a discipline which is working for the welfare of the people, to look after the people, to take care of the people, right? So public administration, the government will be making policies for what? For looking after the people, for welfare of the people. Government will be implementing some policies, or the public administrators like the IAS, the district magistrate, they will be implementing the policies with only one objective, that is the welfare of the people or looking after people. So public administration is a very relevant discipline, we can say, and it is about looking after the people. It is about working for the welfare of the people. One more thing I will be adding here is that when this discipline, that is public administration, was emerging as the separate discipline, then there was huge controversy that why there is a need for public administration when already here some space is there. So political science already we are having, okay, political science already we are having. It is dealing with the authority and responsibility of the government. Government will be, the central government will be there in the office for what purpose, right? Everything, all the details you will be getting in political science. Kaise polity run karti hai country ki, that science you will be getting in this discipline. And this public administration, the public administration is the coming out of this political science, and because of this this political science is called as the mother of public administration, because public administration is coming out of that only as a separate discipline. So why there is a need for public administration to emerge as the separate discipline? Why there is a need? There is a need because the political science is not able to focus on the welfare of the people. And what kind of welfare, right? Political science will be talking about in general ki authority kya hai government ki, what purpose, for what purpose the central government is there, for what purpose district administration there. So political science will be telling the respective responsibility, okay? But this public administration will be checking the quality of services that is being delivered to the people, applying the managerial principles. उनको use करके हम best possible manner में लोगों को help करेंगे, right? So it was argued that people were arguing that why there is a need for public administration. It is already part of political science, and already the political science we are dealing with. So these were the argument that in order to check the welfare of the people, particularly, we need to have this public administration. And this is the, we can say, the meaning or little introduction about public administration. So we will be, first of all, in our classes, we will be dealing with the the understanding and meaning of public administration in a very holistic manner, in a very the comprehensive manner. We will be understanding what is this public administration all about. Okay, so regarding this, public administration will be having so many meaning. Kuch log bolenge public administration is science. Some people will say public administration is an art. Okay, some people will say, or some scholars have said, that the public administration is a philosophy. Okay, so in order to understand all those views, we will be covering the views, narrow views, broad views, right? For example, if I'm talking about this narrow views and the broad views, so narrow views kya hai? Only I'll be talking about very few things, like, because it is not possible in this particular session, because this is kind of orientation, how we will be dealing with the subject, right? So this narrow view kya bolta hai? According to the narrow view, the public administration is, PA is about implementation of policies, or we can say the dealing with the executive branch only. Executive kaun hote hain, right? Those who are that responsible for the this I'm talking about the permanent executive. They are responsible for implementation of the policy, the IAS officer. Public administration is dealing with that only, how you have served, and how decisions you have taken, or that how exactly the welfare has taken place. Okay? So narrow view says public administration is about this only, dealing with the executive. But the broad views, we will be understanding all these things in the classes in a very comprehensive manner, but here brief discussion. So narrow view says public administration is about E only, that is the executive. We are having this E, L and J as the three organs, okay? Executive, legislature and judiciary, okay? So narrow view says that public administration is all about E. E may be the hamare sare, you know, that union executive, state executive and the policy implementers. So only that branch is coming under the public administration, okay? But the proponents of broad views came, okay? Broad views आया हमारे पास, broad views, and this broad view says no, public administration is not only about the policy implementation or the E, but public administration is about E, L and J all. That means under the definition of public administration, you know, this all these components, all these, you know, the we can say the organs of the state will be coming. That is, E will also be coming. The public administration will be dealing with E. The public administration will be dealing with L, that is legislature. How the parliament is making laws, it will also be dealt by the public administration. And it is quite making sense nowadays. It is the, you know, the debate of very early time, like when the public administration is started, okay? Then the J, judiciary, how judiciary is functioning, what kind of verdict judiciary is giving, that is also definitely the part of public administration, right? So for that logic, we are saying that the broad view is saying that public administration is about all E, L, J and everything, right? So this is there. We need not to go into that detail. We will not be able to go into that detail. It is just brief, right? So हम इन सब के बारे में समझेंगे. This understanding we will be taking up, right? Then after that, we have the next aspect into this, you know, the meaning. Then we will talk about the scope, significance, what is the scope, कहाँ पे apply हो सकता है, where we can use the public administration, and what is the significance. Then we will talk about the, you know, the Wilson vision of public administration, right? So Wilson vision of public administration, basically we will be talking about the Politico administrative dichotomy. Politico administrative dichotomy. Okay, so Politico administrative dichotomy, right? Woodrow Wilson vision, it will be dealing with the Politico administrative dichotomy. That means when the debate was going on that whether this public administration is part of political science or it is the you know, that all the domains are overlapping, all the, you know, the studies of public administration are overlapping with this political science. So this time the Woodrow Wilson came up with this theory that is called Politico administration theory. In this particular theory, Wilson highlighted that political questions and administrative questions are different. The politics is different, administration is different. We cannot mix that political science with that of administration. Administration is something very different. And the problems of the, you know, I'm writing this political question and administrative question. It means that, you know, the problems of administrations are different. The aspirations of the administrations are different. And the political administrations are very different, right? So we will be discussing about this also, the Politico administration dichotomy and all. Then the evolution of discipline and its present status, how it has evolved. So regarding this evolution, we will be talking about the MBC 1, that is Munich Conference 1. Then we will talk about MBC 2, and we will talk about this MBC 3. Okay, these three conferences took place. Obviously, along with these developments, other you know, the things also took place, but basically they provide for the evolution. So we will be talking about, and after that, new public administration will be coming, new public management will be coming. So we will be dealing with all those things, right? So it will be dealt under the evolution of discipline. And this, you know, this you can see here, the new public administration, new public choice approach, Okay, so all these theories we will be covering. Challenges of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Like in the 1990s, with the coming up of LPG reforms, how this with the coming up of this challenge, how public administration evolved, how public administration dealt with new challenges. Because when the new complexities will be added, the administration need to revamp itself. Administration need to have answer to all those problems, right? So we'll be dealing with that also. Then some of the last topic of this introduction, we'll be talking about the good governance, concept, application, and new public management. Okay, so this will be our first unit, and it will be very comprehensively. We will be covering in the 10 to 15 classes the introduction. And one of the just other understanding of mine regarding the public administration, I'll say that those people who will be having understanding about the that is introduction to public administration, they will be having fair understanding about the public administration, right? So what it means it simply means that this topic is very, very important. The first one, for any other optional, we can say the first one would be very, very important, right? After the completion of first topic in a very comprehensive manner in 10 to 15 classes, we will be moving on to our next part, which is also equally important. In the introduction, we are dealing with the discipline, kind of discipline, nature of discipline. Uske baad we will be moving on to administrative thoughts. So all the administrative thoughts, or you can say the administrative thinkers. So second unit will be belonging to thinkers, and in this administrative thought, we will be covering all the thinkers and their the theories that like the scientific management and scientific management movement, the classical theory, the Weber's bureaucratic model, post-Weberian developments, dynamic administration by Mary Parker Follett, and human relation school by Elton Mayo and others. Then we will have the functions of executive, that is Chester Bernard. Then we will have the Simon's decision making theory and the participative management by Francis Licard, C. Argyris, and Douglas MacGregor, right? So very few names have been mentioned here, but we will be that when we will be talking about the scientific management, so we will be talking about the Taylor, okay? And when we will be dealing with this classical theory and the managerial principles, we will be talking about Fayol. Okay, that name may not be have been mentioned. This is exactly the syllabus which UPSC has provided for. Okay, but when any theory will be discussed, so we will be adding so many scholars, so many views at that time, right? So many scholars will be coming, and their views we will be discussing what that views that a scholar wants to say about the public administration. Okay, more on this is that just like the introduction was having some purpose, that why it is being studied at the very first place. So introduction हम इसलिए पढ़ रहे थे to understand the public administration. ये है क्या public administration, right? उसकी से related जाए whatever kind of the views, the approaches, the evolution हमने सब पढ़ा. Similarly, these administrative thoughts we will be studying, so that क्यों हम पढ़ेंगे? For example, government has launched a scheme. Let's say this Agnipath scheme. Agnipath scheme has been launched by the government, and there is an issue in the implementation of this particular scheme, right? So these thinkers, the administrative thought, these thinkers will be giving their views, okay? Their views, how to implement this policy in a better way, how to make a policy in a better way. यहाँ से हम समझेंगे what these people are saying, okay? Although public policy related topic we will be having later on also, but यहाँ पे all these scholars will be giving their views to solve all the problems. This should be very, very clear क्यों हम पढ़ रहे हैं, right? And the next is that for example, the Abraham Maslow need hierarchy theory is there, in which we talked about that in the previous video, okay? So Abraham Maslow need hierarchy theory says what are the motivating factors जो लोगों को motivate करते हैं to work in an organization. What are the demotivating factors? क्या motivating factors नहीं होते? Okay, so that is the part of, we can say, the two factor theory, okay, Herzberg two factor theory. But Maslow talks about the need. Okay, कौन सी need होती है? Like basic need, upper level need, higher order need, right? पूरा एक that pyramid we have, right? So Maslow is trying to understand लोगों को क्या पसंद आता है in an organization, क्या पसंद नहीं आता है. What kind of need emerges over a period of time. तो हम उसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. So and Fayol के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. So Fayol will be talking about the managerial principles, right? कि क्या managerial principles होते हैं? What kind of principles we can apply so that हम सबसे ज़्यादा output निकल के सामने आए? Best kind of productivity and the efficiency will be coming out, right? So concluding on this administrative thought, these theories are there in which various scholars have given various views how to deal with that particular problem in an organization. Okay? Then after that, we will be talking about the administrative behavior, and administrative behavior में वो Abraham Maslow की theory आ जाएगी. In this process and techniques of decision making, then communication, morale, motivation, intent, the process, contemporary and theories of leadership, traditional and modern. Okay, so we will be talking about the what are the factors which used to motivate, what are the factors we demotivate the individual, and morale, right? So in सब के बारे में बात करेंगे. In this administrative behavior, people's behavior, we will be we will try to understand that. ठीक है? Then after that, we will be having the organizations, right? So theories, system theory, contingency theory, structure and forms, the ministries and departments, the corporation, companies, board and commissions, ad hoc and advisory body, headquarters and field relations, regulatory authorities, public-private partnership, right? So we will understand how a particular organization works. For example, Ministry of Health. Okay, Health Ministry of Government of India is there. Some organization will be there. Okay, एक head होगा that will be politically headed by Health Minister. Administratively will be headed by the Secretary of Health Department, Ministry, right? उसके बाद, we will understand what kind of interactions are taking place, how actually they are performing, how actually they are, they are dealing with their particular, the organization. वो कैसे function करते हैं, we will be understanding that. After that, we will be talking about the accountability and control. Accountability and control में क्या होगा? Like we will be understanding this accountability and control. Basically, why we are studying this. First of all, we need to understand that. Okay. So the answer to this question, why we are reading this accountability or control, or why we are having this in the public administration syllabus. So answer to this is that suppose you are when you will be clearing this examination, so you will become the administrator, right? You will become the IAS officer and you will be dealing with a particular district. Okay? So does that means that you will be free to do anything, whatever you want? Answer will be obviously no, right? Answer will be no. Accountability and control. So when you will be becoming the IAS officer, you will not be allowed to do whatever you want. Okay, and how it will be checked? It will be checked through the accountability and control. In order to ensure the accountability of every organization or every individual, various kinds of controls are exercised. उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. In this Parliament also exercising the control over the government. Government जो भी चाहे वो उस तरीके की पॉलिसी नहीं बना सकती है. The Parliament will be exercising the control over that. ठीक है? So under this topic, we will understand that how the Parliament is exercising control, how the judiciary is having control over the administration, how people are controlling, how the IAS officers are controlled, civil services conduct rule is there. So they will be function as per the constitutional provisions, as per the parliamentary laws, and they should be guided by the civil services conduct rule. वो कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. They need to be walk in the conformity with the the civil services conduct rule, the Constitution of India, the parliamentary laws. Okay, so that we will be understanding कि उनको control कैसे करना है, and every every body or every organization and entity is how it is being organized. Accountable or made or controlled and made accountable, right? Next topic would be the administrative law. So in this administrative law, meaning, scope, and significance, then we will talk about this dicey on administrative law, then delegated legislation and administrative tribunal. Okay, so basically this administrative law will be kind of not that applied, but it will be dealing with these some rules and what are the laws and how this delegated legislation is made and this how administrative tribunals work. हम इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Then we will have the comparative public administration, in which you can say that basically we will be talking about we will be having the comparative study with that of other discipline, right? So historical and sociological factors affecting the administrative system, administration and politics in different countries, then the current status of comparative public administration, then ecology and administration, then we will have the Riggian model and their critique. Okay, so we will be talking about all those things. Then after that we will be having the next, that is the development dynamics. Development dynamics में बहुत सारी चीजें आ जाएंगी, like how things are being developed, okay, and concept of development understand करेंगे, what is this development and how it used to take place. We'll talk about changing profile of development administration, then the anti-development thesis, the bureaucracy and development, the strong state versus market debate. Okay, strong state versus market debate, that means whether there should be a strong state or there should be more role for or more room for the market to play. Then impact of liberalization on administration in developing countries, women in development के बारे में बात करेंगे, and self help group movement के बारे में बात करेंगे. ठीक है, so this will be studied under this the development dynamics. Then we have the personal administration. अब personal administration में क्या है? Personal administration, that means it is particularly dealing with the civil servants. So इसमें हम recruitment की बात करेंगे, how the recruitment is taking place, right? Recruitment. Then we will talk about the training. We'll talk about the training. Then we will talk about the union personal ministry. Union personal ministry. Union personal ministry. Right? So we will be talking about all these things. All the particulars about the civil servant, you can say, will be studied under this development and performance appraisal कैसे होता है एक department में, service conditions, employer relations, grievance redressal mechanism, code of conduct, importance of human resource development, all these things we will be talking about. ठीक है, in this personal administration, particularly to the how IAS officer work, who governs the service of this IAS officer, IPS officer, training कहाँ पे होती है, कैसे होती है, all these things we will be talking about this personal administration. Then next is the public policy, right? So public policy, this particularly we will be although I was talking about that in first chapter, that is the introduction, we were discussing about that. In this particular public policy, we will be discussing the models of public policy making, their critique, the process of conceptualization, the planning, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, review and their limitations, state theories, public policy formulation, all those things we will be talking about. Okay? And that is something very obvious. And the best part of public administration is that all the topics that we will be discussing is they will be very much related to your life. You will be able to connect with the topics. You will be able to connect with the the subject matter that we will be discussing. Then the 11th would be the techniques of administrative improvements. Okay, techniques of administrative improvement, right? अभी तक हम क्या बात कर रहे थे? Till now we were understanding the subject, we were understanding the theories कि एक काम को अच्छे तरीके से कैसे कर सकते हैं so that people will be benefited significantly. ठीक है, we were talking about that. Now administrative techniques, there will be some techniques which will be further enhancing our administrative experience, we can say. Okay, so O&M, that is organization methods, they will be there. Then work study and the work management we will be talking about, okay, in detail. Then we will talk about the e-governance, information technology and उससे भी ज़्यादा important, mainly we will be talking about the network analysis, we will be talking about the MIS, okay, that is Management Information System, we will be talking about PERT, CPM, right? So this PERT is standing for Performance Evaluation and the Reporting Technique. Then we will have the CPM, that is Critical Path Method, right? So we will be dealing with these. And the very last the part, we will be dealing with the financial administration. You should understand from this topic, if you are looking into this, you will be able to understand that what is this public administration. It is again this statement is only talking about, that means earlier you were talking about the personal administration, that means how people will be recruited, how people will work, accountability and control, उनके ऊपर control कैसे exercise करेंगे, the administrative behavior, लोग कैसे काम करते हैं, what kind of the things people use to attract people, what kind of things people people becomes demotivated because of that, हमने वो समझा. Now we are talking about the financial administration. That means financial administration is also a part of administration. अगर आप लोगों की सेवा करना चाहते हो, you want to serve the people, then we need to have sound financial administration as well. Finances को भी अच्छे तरीके से manage करना है, then only you will be able to serve the people, then only you will be able to help people, right? So in this we will be talking about the monetary and the fiscal policies, जो कि आप economics में भी पढ़ोगे, and the public borrowings and public debt budget, types and forms, budgetary process, the financial accountability and accounts and audit, ये हम सब पढ़ेंगे, right? So this is all about the paper 1 syllabus and approach and little introduction, how what is the meaning of a particular topic in this part of syllabus and how we will be dealing with that. ठीक है? So we discuss about that. Now I'll be highlighting some of the things for the people who are going to opt for the public administration optional. तो आपको सबसे पहले what you need to do is, in order to choose any optional, not only public administration, you need to have the thorough understanding about the subject. आपको अच्छे तरीके से पढ़ना है, how to what is there in the syllabus. ठीक है? First of all, you will be reading that. आप समझोगे what kind of topics have been given. Then you need to analyze कि whether you are having interest, okay, in those topics or not. आप उससे connect कर पा रहे हो या नहीं, that those topics are making sense for you or not, वो आपको समझना पड़ेगा, right? So accordingly you will be looking after the syllabus. और आपका ये वीडियो भी शेयर कर सकते हो, and you need to watch this video to understand कि कैसे public administration deal करता है and what is all in the public administration, right? अब topic we have discussed. Now I have added some previous year question papers, right? So that we can we will be able to understand किस तरीके के question पूछे जाते हैं, right? And what is the demand. So आपको certainly from this little discussion only, brief discussion about the topics हमने जो discuss किया है, क्या क्या syllabus में है, कैसे deal करेंगे, you will be able to you will be in a position आपको लगेगा that you can solve some question. Okay, we'll see. So the content and process theories of motivation have same focus. Elaborate. Okay, इसमें क्या बोला जा रहा है in question में? The content and the process theories of the motivation have same focus. So इस question में UPSC wants you to talk about the theory on theories of motivation. Content and process theory of motivation have same focus, right? Have same focus. So इसमें क्या होगा? You need to talk about all the theory. आपको बताना है Abraham Maslow theory, the two-factor theory, Herzberg two-factor theory. Then after that we have various motivational and moral theory. उनके बारे में you need to talk about that. Okay, that focus should be given. All the theories you need to discuss. Then you will be demonstrating, you will be showing that yes, this is how the Abraham Maslow is thinking, this is how the Herzberg is thinking, right? So that way you will be dealing with this question. So हम अभी सिर्फ ये देख रहे हैं how you can relate. So इस question में you will be talking about the motivation theory जो भी है, right? Then understanding of man's behavior is a great source for science of public administration. Understanding of man's behavior is a great source of science of public administration. मतलब understanding the man's behavior is a great science. मतलब ये अपने आप में ही in its own, this man's behavior is giving huge scope for the public administration to do the science on it, right? So it's a great source of for science of public administration, right? Then next we have is the information. Okay, so इसमें आप administrative behavior के बारे में लिखोगे, right? So like how people used to react, और उसमें public administration को कैसे नई theories के साथ आ सकता है, what kind of solution public administration can provide. So all those things you will be talking about, right? Then information constitute the lifeblood of the functioning of the organization. So we will be talking about this organization. This question is from the organization topic. You will be talking about the importance of information, and you will be, discussing all the functions, all the, the role that information can play from the very top level to the lower level, and आप पूरी hierarchy के बारे में बात करोगे that how information plays a role. Then next is examine the respective roles of facts and values in decision making process. Examine the respective roles of facts and values. Facts और value में administration में क्या, क्या role play करते हैं these facts and values, उस पे you need to talk about. So आपको अभी you need not to think कि इसको कैसे solve करना है. That we will be discussing in a very elaborative manner. But only I am just showing the kind of question that is being asked. So ऐसा कुछ rocket science is not being asked. Simply you can write. अभी भी you can write some answers without any even studying the public administration. So my work will be to guide you in a proper way so that you become able to solve these questions, right? So these are the questions. Then we have the distinction between line and staff is relative rather than absolute. So कैसा relation होगा? It is really relative, okay, rather than absolute. Absolute नहीं है. According to the situation, it used to change, right? So this is all about the our session, that is public administration syllabus and planner for this paper 1, okay? And so we will be starting our classes in like coming days, and we will be going through all these topics one by one in a very elaborative manner. So I welcome all to join us and learn the all about the public administration, learn the tactics, how to solve public administration questions, and how to write good answer in the mains examination. All right, so this is all. Thank you.